Some incredible new cars have just been revealed at the Japan Mobility Show in Tokyo. There's a new Mazda sports car with a rotary engine, an electric Toyota Land Cruiser and a Nissan GT-R hypercar. But these aren't the only cool cars that have just been shown for the very first time. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about all the best new cars coming soon. I'm Matt Watson and you're watching CarWow.
Buy, sell,
CarWow.
Nissan has been insanely busy in 2023. It just revealed 5 brand new concept cars. Some of these are very cool, others are very weird, and one could be an all-new R36 GT-R. But before we get into that, we need to talk about this. It's called the Nissan Concept 2023. It looks a bit like someone threw a cyberpunk body kit at a cartoon Mini. Almost like Nissan is cooking up a rival to the Honda Civic Type R. But this isn't just a bit of fun. It's actually a very serious car for Nissan. Strip away all the futuristic Pimp My Ride upgrades and this concept shows what the all-new Micra will look like when it goes on sale in the next few years. Not interested in electric city cars? Well, Nissan has just revealed a bunch of electric SUVs too. One is called the Hyper Urban Concept, and it gives clues what a future Qashqai-sized family car might be like. Although you can bet those doors will be the first things to go if Nissan decides to put a car like this into production. There's also a much larger off-road EV called the Hyper Adventure. This comes with a huge battery designed for lengthy trips into the wilderness. It can even power your house during a blackout. And Nissan says you could use it to recharge your electric jet ski, because everyone has one of those. Right? On a more useful note, the boot is absolutely massive. It's big enough for tents, skis, and even a kayak. Why is Nissan obsessed with water sports all of a sudden? Moving to the mainstream, see what I did there? You know, stream, water sport. Anyhow, Nissan also revealed this, the Hyper Punk concept. This car is supposedly all about social media. Nissan even said it's been designed for artists and content creators. I'm not sure why they need different cars from the rest of us. But whatever the inspiration was for this car, you can't argue that the Hyperpunk definitely stands out. The whole body looks like a designer got angry and scrunched up their whole sketchbook into a massive ball of origami for recycling, which is a bit weird. And the 23-inch wheels come with massive light-up triangular hubcaps instead of visible metal spokes. But the most exciting Nissan from the Tokyo show is this new Hyper Force concept. Nissan says this car has been designed to appeal to people who crave the adrenaline rush of the racetrack but are also eco-conscious. But ignore all that marketing speak for a minute, because this car is basically the next GT-R. Just look at those brake lights. They absolutely scream GT-R. And the roof has a very similar shape to the latest R35. The outline of the headlights definitely takes inspiration from the iconic R34 GT-R. And the gold graphics down the side have been inspired by the classic Skyline 2000 Turbo RS. But the biggest clue that this concept previews a new GT-R is the tiny pixelated logo on the front bumper. These red and silver blocks are definitely a GT-R badge in disguise. The shape and the colours all match up perfectly. Things get a bit weird inside this new car though. The dashboard looks like a cyborg lobster shell, and the steering wheel is actually a yoke with a built-in screen. The front seats are made of carbon fibre, and the whole cabin can change colour depending on whether you're in relaxed GT mode or full bore R mode. Unlike its other concepts, Nissan has revealed a few tasty details about the new Hyper Force concept. For starters, it has an insane 1,360 horsepower. That's more than double the 600 horsepower you got in the outgoing GT-R NISMO. Unfortunately, this power doesn't come from a crazy twin-turbo V6, or even from some racing-inspired hybrid system. This concept is a pure electric car, and probably has at least 2 electric motors, although it's possible it could have 3, or maybe even 4. If that's the case, Nissan has the chance to develop some next-level torque vectoring technology for the next GT-R, just like the R35's game-changing four-wheel drive system. Now, if you want to see how that car compares to 3 iconic generations of GT-R, click on the pop-out banner or find the link in the description below to watch my Nissan GT-R Generations drag race video. As well as face-warping horsepower, Nissan said the Hyper Force concept comes with clever solid-state battery technology. These batteries have the potential to boost power, increase range, and speed up charging times for EVs. And they won't just be for supercar-killing electric cars like a future GT-R. Nissan is also planning to use them in normal cars too. This Hyper Tourer MPV concept, which was also just revealed in Tokyo, uses the same kind of battery technology. Nissan hasn't confirmed any plans to sell a production car inspired by the Hyper Tourer yet, but it wouldn't be the only brand considering building an unusual minivan. Volvo has teased a new MPV called the EM90 that it'll show in full on the 12th of November. And Mitsubishi just revealed a crazy MPV off-roader at the mobility show called the DX Concept. This hybrid family off-roader looks more like a giant protective suitcase than a car, but it does come with some cool features. The seats can spin around to turn the cabin into a huge mobile lounge. And there's a giant screen in the dashboard that shows you a live video feed of the road or track under the car. Handy if you plan to do some actual off-roading. Not every car revealed in Tokyo though is an electric car or some kind of super practical family wagon. Mazda just revealed a new MX-5. Although you'd have to be the nerdiest Mazda fan to ever notice the difference. The car gets some new headlights, a bigger touchscreen, and a couple of extra colour options for the roof and the seats. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same as the outgoing car, which is actually a very good thing. But that's not the best news. Mazda also revealed this iconic SP concept. It's a small, lightweight coupe with a, drumroll please, rotary engine. Yes, you heard me right. Under that low bonnet is a 2-rotor engine, just like you got in the classic RX-7 from the 80s and the 90s. This new concept even looks a bit like an RX-7, especially the shape of the side windows, the roofline, and even the pop-up headlights. But there is a catch. This engine doesn't actually drive the wheels. Instead, it works as a generator to recharge the car's batteries. Yep. This Mazda concept is actually a hybrid with a range extender that you can run on loads of different sustainable fuels, including hydrogen. Once the generator has charged the batteries, they send power to an electric motor that drives the wheels without any direct help from the engine. This is pretty similar to the system in the range extender versions of the new Mazda MX-30. Unlike that car, which is all about maximising efficiency, the iconic SP system is solely focused on performance. The electric motor produces 370 horsepower, which is about 200 horsepower more than you get in the MX-30. Okay, so this figure won't give Tesla nor Rimac any sleepless nights, but it should be plenty in a small sports car because the iconic SP is actually very light. It only weighs 1,450 kilos. Now that's 50 kilograms less than a 6-cylinder Toyota Supra, and that car has about 30 horsepower less than this new Mazda. Mazda hasn't confirmed if or when this new car could go on sale. But the fact this tech is already in production for the MX-30 means it might not take too long before you can get your hands on a new Mazda rotary sports car, even if it is technically a hybrid. Mazda isn't the only Japanese car maker that wants to bring back small, fun sports car. Toyota is working on a replacement for the iconic MR2. Just check out this FTSE concept. The exterior is fairly similar to a concept that Toyota revealed last year, and it's even the same colour. But every panel on this new version has been tweaked to make it look more futuristic, more aggressive, and more like an actual production car. Well, for the most part. There are still some bits that feel a bit out there for a relatively inexpensive sports car. I'm talking about the active aero panels behind the doors. But there's no reason the minimalist interior with those bright blue seats couldn't end up in a future Toyota road car. Unfortunately, Toyota hasn't confirmed any details about this new concept performance, only that it will definitely be an electric car. Toyota's chief engineer did say in an interview that the FT-SE could have four-wheel drive, which means it will probably get dual electric motors. He also mentioned that more power could be sent to the rear wheels to make it more fun to drive. And if recent Toyota GR models are anything to go by, it should be an absolute blast. Toyota will announce more details about this car and another concept, an SUV called the FT3E, very soon. But these aren't the only Toyota concepts revealed in Tokyo. It also pulled the covers off a brand new electric Land Cruiser. This new car isn't just a standard Land Cruiser with a couple of electric motors bolted on. This electric SE version has a completely different platform. It even uses a monocoque chassis instead of a ladder frame like the normal Land Cruiser. Toyota hasn't confirmed any further details besides the fact the electric SE will come with 7 seats. But the company did reveal another electric car called the EPU pickup truck. Just like the Land Cruiser SE, this concept uses its own dedicated EV platform. You'll have to wait until next year for more detailed information on this car, so make sure you're subscribed to this channel, and that way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video about any of these future models. Toyota's luxury brand, Lexus, also used the Japan Mobility Show to reveal some exciting new saloons and SUVs. The LF ZC is a concept that previews a completely new kind of Lexus production car that you'll be able to buy in 2026. But rather than loads of gimmicks, Lexus is going for a less is more approach. It wants the new car to be simpler and more efficient than ever. And it's even targeting a better drag coefficient than either the Mercedes EQS or Tesla Model S. Speaking of Tesla, Lexus is planning to use Model Y style giga castings to build these next generation cars. These are larger and use fewer individual parts, which helps make the cars lighter and simpler to build. As you'd expect from a new electric concept, the LF ZC's interior is packed full of screens and odd materials, including trim made from bamboo. There's also a steering yoke like in a new RZ SUV. And speaking of SUVs, Lexus also revealed a concept called the LFZL. This uses the same new tech as the ZC Saloon, but bundles it all up in a bigger SUV body style. Subaru has a history of sharing parts with Toyota and Lexus. For example, the Subaru Solterra uses lots of parts shared with the Toyota BZ4X and Lexus RZ. But Subaru used the recent show in Tokyo to reveal something completely unique called the Sport Mobility concept. The design is giving off strong Impreza two-door vibes, especially with the daytime running lights that look like rally car fog lamps. The contrasting blue trim that emphasises the boxy wheel arches is also a nice touch. And the massive square front intake looks like it was inspired by the bumper on Colin McRae's rally car. Subaru didn't announce any details about this car's performance, drivetrain or price at the show. But that doesn't really matter because the chances of this car going into production are about as slim as Subaru winning next year's World Rally Championship. Another mysterious car revealed at the Japan Mobility Show was this Honda Prelude concept. Honda hasn't confirmed any specs for this car and only said that it's currently working diligently on a range of electrified cars, including sporty models. So, does this mean a new Prelude Type R is just around the corner? Probably not. But considering how production ready this particular concept looks, I wouldn't rule out the possibility of a Honda Prelude EV going on sale in the next few years. Did you think any of these cars were strange? Well, the weirdest new car reveal of the year is definitely this: the XPeng modular flying car. It looks a lot like a 6-wheeled Tesla Cybertruck, but it's actually a mobile landing pad for one of XPeng's latest flying concept cars. Although, unlike some of XPeng's flying cars, this one looks more like a huge drone attached to a glass lift than an actual car. The mobile landing pad itself is a hybrid drive system rather than relying purely on batteries like the Tesla Cybertruck. And rather than selling it to private owners, XPeng has aimed this at emergency services instead. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the wackiest auto show of the year, if not the decade. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. If you want to watch some more videos, I've picked a couple out for you there I think you'll like. Just click on those windows to watch them. Or if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. You can do that just by hitting the CarWow logo there. Simple.